and there was this old man who came walking, and he was like paralyzed, he was like limping, and he sits down and he starts listening to us, and he starts like sharing his lighter with the kids. So like we were kind of thinking like we're sharing the gospel, but he's like encouraging these kids to go get high. And then Aaron just like leans over and he's like, I think we should pray for that guy. And so we're like, okay. And so we started praying because he was completely paralyzed on his left side. And so we started praying, and like, to be honest, we had gotten words of healing before, and I know other people had healed already before, but I guess for me, I wasn't for sure believing it because I hadn't physically been a part of it. We started praying for him, and then he was like, I feel warmth in my arm, and we're like, okay, so let's keep praying. And then, we prayed for him a lot of different times, and, each time it was different. He's, started moving his fingers, and then he started going like this with his arm. And then eventually, we knew that it was, the last burst of prayer, so all the street kids are like, what's going on? And they're, watching. And then, some of them even have, crosses, that, they know who Jesus is, but they've never seen anything like that. And so, Aaron, my team leader, was like, everyone get in, lay hands on him and just start praying, because they know how to pray. And then everyone prayed, one last burst of prayer. And then finally, he gets up and just starts walking. And we're like, oh, that's so cool. All the street kids are just like, what just happened? And so, we led him to the Lord, and it was really awesome. Now we want him to go be a good influence for the other people.
But I asked another lady to read one of my notes, and she was like, oh, no, I can't see. My eyes is so bad, I can't see. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. So we got to share with her, and I told her my testimonies, and we prayed for her, and after we prayed, she was had tears in her eyes, and it was the biggest smile ever, and she said the eye was clearing up. So it was so cool.
The stage that I was able to pray for, and he was deaf in one ear, and I prayed for him a couple times that his ears would open up, and next thing you know, he was like, yeah, my ears, I could hear, and he was snapping, he was checking it, and then we asked him to share in front of his classmates what God just did, and he grabbed the mic and he expressed his heart and just really just poured out what God did in his life and just everything. It was pretty.
I was teaching on the value and design of people, and particularly emphasizing that men and women are both equally created in the image of God, which is a big deal in Nepal because there's still a lot of issues regarding that, just with the Hindu culture, and a lot of new Christians coming out of Hindu culture. That's still some things that are carrying over, that that women are considered lower and all sit on one side and the guys on the other in the church. And so I got them to face each other and take turns, all the men first, then all the women, and they said to each other, you are created in the image of God, you are highly valuable and you're of equal value to me. And afterwards, I, through the translator, asked some of the women if that was meaningful for them, just trying to gauge sort of where they were at with that. And this one lady said that was the first time in her whole life that she had ever heard that men and women were equal. And this lady was 60 or 70 years old.
A bunch of ladies came and they were saying, oh, my child has chronic kidney disease and I have hypertension and diabetes. And I was like, all of our medicines are in this little bag. I don't know if we can help you, but we can pray for you. And so one of the ladies had a painful mass growing on her left hand for the past 3 months. And so I was like, I don't have anything, let me pray for you. And so we prayed for her, and then we left. And 2 weeks later, we happened to be back in the same sewing school. And the lady came down, she sat next to me, and she was so excited. She was like, look, it's gone. And it's kind of ironic because the treatment for that actually usually is called the Bible treatment, where they bang a heavy book on her hand. So she actually did get a Bible treatment. But all I could say was, Jishu, Jishu. And she was like, yes, it's Jesus. And I was like...